Hello and welcome to another how-to video. My name's Ditech, CTO DVS, and before you go any further, please do make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You know it makes sense. We need you to hit the subscribe button. Why? Because it shows that you like and engaging with the content. No other reason. So, what are we going to take a look at today? Well, it's behind me. So we are going to go forward in a minute to the proper device, which we're going to show you how to interact with. But before we go any further, let me introduce you to the new Hikvision Digital Signage posters. Now, as you can see, this one, which was on my left, was probably on your right on the screen. This one here is the completed LED poster. This one here is the deconstructed version. Now, if you've been to the Hikvision UK Insight shows recently, you would have seen the LED posters digital signage setup. You definitely would have done. This is in its raw format. What we are going to do is show how it interacts in a minute on an LCD floor standing Totem with HIK-Central. Now, that's really important because I really want to get across the point of how interactive, how easy, and how reliable that system is, but more on that to follow. So, on this side here, we have the lovely finished article. Now, well, they're in boxes behind, but give me 2 seconds. When you get the LED posters, if you do choose to go down that road, they come with a frame, they come in a crate, so you get the frame, the base, which is on wheels to allow you to move it, so you can have wheels or non-wheels. So you get the base, you put the Totem on it effectively, and you have all of this back plane. Now each one it's difficult to see on the video probably, but you can see each one has got 4 magnetic corners on there, and they're all linked. Each motherboard is then linked by RJ45 Ethernet cable, and the motherboards or the boards are connected by this sort of IDC clip, and each one is linked in for the power network, etc. is at the bottom. We've already completed this one. Pardon me, they do have, this one has power and Ethernet. Let me show you what the boards look like. Whoop. So, you get 2 boxes of boards effectively, and each board is like this. You can see here is the LED front plane, and here is the board itself with the magnetic pins which meet up with the back plane. Now all you have to do is, you can see each board has a little standout proud little connector on there. If I do it that way, you can sort of see it there. That just marries up with the board here, so effectively the arrows on here, that clicks in, it would, like that, and you just push it in. Done. So each one, you build your board up, each square then completes a frame like this. So when you turn it on, you get a lovely digital signage poster. Now, the cool thing about these LED posters is the fact that you can actually, these side planes here, you can actually unlock this side plane like this. You can see I'm unlocking it, and you can unlock that one, and they actually technically bolt together. So these 2 frames can actually slide together and become one big LED poster. So effectively, you could have 3 or 4 of these, bolt them together and get one large LED display. Now, that's really handy because if you're in an event space, if you like hotels, festivals, offices, meetings, etc., what this allows you to do is effectively have separate screens when you want them to do, so each screen can show its own content, or if you want to show one big display because somebody really wants to demonstrate their company, their logos, their events, or you're trying to get a message across, you can combine them into one large display. Because they're all on wheels, that makes it really easy then to move it to either back into storage or back to its original location and back to its original format. So it's very, very versatile. So completed version, backplane version, LED panels, they all come in the box, comes fully crated, very well packaged. And again, you just build it up. There is an instruction manual. You just follow the logic of building it from the bottom left-hand corner all the way up. Same with the others. connect them together if you want, power them up, put them on the network, connect them to Wi-Fi, and then add them to HIK-Central for all of the programming. It really is as simple as that. Now, there is some configuration you can do if to sort of match the colors and the screens. There's like a configuration tool. We're not going to show you that today. This is just to introduce to you the principle of the LED display. Now, we are going to fully complete this second unit today, Stewie. We're going to put all the LED panels in it, combine them into one big unit, and we are going to move this into the DVS reception area. So if you are in the area or you do want to pop down and see it, of course, Hikvision have their own local display room in London, one in Manchester, one in Scotland, or come down to DVS and we can showcase the digital signage, the LED, the LCD, and how the digital signage can work for you. Now, and don't forget, they've also got the Hikvision interactive LCD screens. That is one there. Fantastic. We've already done loads of content on that, but feel free to also include that in the package of commercial screens to your customers from one provider, Hikvision. So we're going to move you on to the LCD display, which is in our reception area, already programmed and working. And it's going to be much easier to talk through the HIK-Central because this is going to be moved out into our reception area later today. So introduction to the LED digital signage poster setup, single, individual, or combined into one big unit. Easy to use, very versatile, really high content, really high graphical content, very visual, vivid. They're very, very vivid, the colors on there. And again, if one of these breaks, they can be pulled out and replaced very, very simply. So extremely efficient on that front as well. So stay with me, we're going to move you across and we'll see what that looks like. Thank you for watching so far. And this is our LCD digital signage Totem. Now this is in the DVS reception area. As you can probably tell, those that haven't been there, this is what it looks like. Lots of stuff on display, mostly Hikvision, barriers, etc. But this is our LCD Totem here. Now I've kindly put a DVS bit of content on there. This is a 55-inch Totem. It's freestanding. It doesn't have wheels. So it's meant to be sort of fit and forget effectively. You can move it around, you probably need two people, but this doesn't have the wheels like the LED poster signage setup. But it is 55-inch in portrait mode. Now, we also do wall mount versions in landscape mode. So if you don't want a freestanding Totem, we can get LCD digital signage wall mount. They look like TVs effectively in different sizes. So again, do look at the range. If you do want to have the interactive digital signage wall mounted instead of Totem, again, we can do that and cater for that. So LCD, LED, plus the wall mount. So this is a DVS sign. You're going to interact with it shortly, so I'm going to show you how that works. Effectively, on the back, there's a flap. All you really need to do is add power to it, so plug it into a socket. It does have a LAN connection, but it also does have Wi-Fi. I've connected this via Wi-Fi because generally, when you do deploy a Totem, it's difficult. Even some wall mount screens, you don't always have the ability to have a hardwired Ethernet connection. Of course, that's always going to be the best option if you can do it. But again, with the LED and LCD Totems, generally, especially if you're moving them around or if they're in a reception area, etc., you don't want, or you're not going to have the ability to have a hardwired Ethernet cable there. So they do have that Wi-Fi ability. Before you ask, they don't have 4G capabilities, but you can easily add a 4G router into it to control this remotely from a centralized location, or put it on your network and add it to HIK-Central that way. Very, very easy to do. They have USBs, HMIs, VGAs. I'm just reading some of the inputs on there. So you've got LAN, USB, or two USBs, audio, has an SD card, two HMIs, VGA, power, and an on-off switch. There's a lockable flap. So once you've connected up, you lock it to keep it safe, and it does come with a handy IR remote. So you can program it using this IR remote. The other benefit to this is, especially on a building like DVS, so if you do deploy this and you're only open from 9 to 5 or 8:30 till 5:30 like DVS, you can program this to follow that open and close schedule. So not only are you saving time, but obviously you're not wasting the time advertising to people that aren't there. So it's like an eco-friendly option to shut the screen down and wake it back up dependent on your scheduling. So it's not permanently on, it will do that automatically. So it's very, very simple to do. To get it online, it's super, super simple. Using the IR remote, straight into the menu, and then either connect connect it via wired or wireless like we've done here, then just add it to HIK-Central. I'm going to transfer you to HIK-Central in a minute so I can show you how easy this content is to interact with. So let's transfer you over to the PC and take a deeper look. Okay, so we've transferred you over to the PC. Those avid watchers of you, if you look at the little video where you can see myself, you can see the screen over my shoulder. I will turn it around slightly, so you should get a better look at that. So if I turn it like that, you should have a better view of the screen. Now, using HIK-Central, which is a very, very simple thing to do, you do need licensing. Speak to your DVS rep and they will provide you with license costs. But effectively, you need licensing like any other device that you add into HIK-Central. That's the easy part. Once you've activated your licenses into HIK-Central, HIK-Central is a web-orientated application or platform, effectively. So you could program this anywhere in the world as long as you've got web access to that server. Very, very simple. So it is a centralized deployment in that respect. And you can, of course, give others like, multiple people in marketing, etc., access just to this application, then allow them to create and deploy the content and schedule it as required. So when you log into HIK-Central, you'll see if you have the licenses on the far right-hand corner, you'll have an option for commercial displays. So if I click on the commercial displays, it will come up as an overview first. I've already been into it. So it'll show me I've got one screen added. Now, all of the screens that you've got added to HIK-Central will appear here, and it'll tell you the status. So open screens, which is the ones that are on. Closed screens, so the ones that are offline, and then offline, the ones that are down powered and then offline, which have been added, but they can't communicate to them. That might be because you've scheduled the power down. So it's in a state of standby, effectively. And then you've got usage reports, device offline, and combined control command. I haven't added anything, but I can add into there and put controlled content in there. So the first thing you do is once you've got on the overview, under device control, this is where your devices appear effectively. Sorry, I need to get a drink. My throat is really dry. So they're all of the screens that I've added. Now, to add the device in the first instance, in HIK-Central, if you go to device, under device and server, you'll see digital signage terminal. Now, if you click on there, there is my added device. It will show any of my online devices that are on the local network to the HIK-Central. If I need to add one, I can click add by auto registration or manually, depending on which one you want, which method you want to use. If I want to add it manually, click on add manually, type in or fill in the details here, which area you want it to, and click add. Or auto registration, click on OK. Add by auto registration on device recommended, and then you just follow these steps here. Okay, so and then you can add it by code. There's 2 or 3 ways effectively you can add it. Very, very simple, and we will help you with that process. If you're very familiar with Hikvision and the way of adding via ISUP, then you'll be fine. It'll just come online straight away. Once you've added the device, bear in mind that you need that correct license. Under commercial display, the displays will be added here. If I click on the device, all of these options then appear live. So I can open the screen, close the screen, restart it, play content, stop the cutting, clear the playing content that's currently playing, volume of the unit, time startup, and combine control. Click on more, and there's some other stuff. So restore default, enable sync playing, disable sync playing, remote debugging, and export log, which are all handy for, if you need to send it to us to send to Hikvision. I'm not going to go through every single option. They should be apparent what those options do. Again, the timed startup one, if I select the screen or multiple screens and click start timer and shutdown, if I enable that, this will then allow me to set that schedule either weekly or daily, depending on the deployment type of when that starts up and shuts down. So between 7 o'clock in the morning, this one starts up and closes at 5:30. On weekends, it doesn't start up. So it saves us money and obviously keeps the unit probably running a bit longer because it's not continually running 24/7. So it's a good thing to do. I'm going to turn that off purposes of this video. I wanted to shut down in the background. And again, the volume of the unit you can adjust here. So if I want it to be higher, click on that and click OK. Then it just pushes the setting to that unit. With the unit here, it's got the detail currently of that. So 10% of the current memory is actually used. So click on this and then it's got all of the content again live. Like I said, you can put it into list view if you prefer. Put it into the list view or back into the thumbnail view. Up to you. So that, in essence, is how easy this unit is to interact with. So very, very simple. We'll come back to the combine control command after. Application management. So content creation, which is the easiest thing to do. So application management. So this is where I can add applications to the device. So upload application packages or apply application to device. I'm not going to do that today because we don't have any applications to actually add to the device. They're standalone third-party or Hikvision applications which are not applicable to this content, but they do, or some devices in our digital signage range are able to handle applications. So if I go to quick release, sorry, somebody's at the door. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Apologies, somebody was knocking the door to be let in. So when we want to do a quick release, which is getting content onto the screen, you can see behind me the DVS content I've already got on there. It's as simple as this, and I'm making it sound even more complicated than it actually is. And you can do this within seconds, trust me. In quick release, device type, digital signage or interactive flat panel. Like I just showed you in the demo room, we have the full range of interactive flat panels. They can be used also as digital signage if you've got one of the newer units. So it's a very interesting combination of technology. So we're going to leave it as digital signage. You select the digital signage type. So it's either the landscape mode, which is the wall mount digital signage, which I described earlier, or the portrait mode, which is the freestanding totems and LCD and LCD displays. So portrait mode, or you can custom set the resolution, but by default, the ones you need are already there. So click OK. So I can locally upload content. So I can go to local upload and choose a file from this set of files effectively, whether it's on your desktop, saved, etc. I'm going to choose a picture of me just to do that. Click on OK. Oh, there's already material in there. I've already done that one. Oops. Let's see if this one works. There we go. So there we go. So this successfully uploaded the content into the material. So click close. Next step is play loop all day, play by week, play by fixed duration, or play by fixed end time. So you select the playing mode which is applicable to you. If you select the default play and loop all day, that will be static content, or you can choose one of the others depending on how you want to program and deploy this. I can give it a schedule name. So I can give it Dave Test, so you can reference it later. All the material is saved for future reference. Test pick. Release immediately or release later, and then you can choose time and date. You can do this in advance, which is really, really helpful. And then select the displays. It might be one display, it might be all of the displays. And then device sync playing. If you enable this, you can only select digital signage and the selected devices will the sync release playing content. You can leave it off, it'll just push it to the content anyway. You can preview the content or you can just click release. And if you watch behind me on the camera in the bottom right hand corner, click release. It's saving the content, it's pushing the content, and already, oh God, there's a big face of me. You can see there, it's already pushed it to it. Yes, we're on the same network locally, but it really is as quick as that. Once you've released it, it'll tell you that one has been released to that display. It'll tell you if it's failed and why, and then the release cancel, because it might be you've cancelled it halfway through. Why you do that, I don't quite know. But that is how easy it is to create content. So you've got quick release, you've got template library, which is a template you can make up. If you're in general templates, food and beverage, retail chains, financial banks, commercial buildings, these are all templates which you can use and adapt to your application. So we give you marketing content that's already available for free, that's included, that may help you already cut out some of the design work. You choose which one suits you best. You can also do these emergency mustering ones. Now, this is important because if I look at this, the preview here, I can see here, I can create a program and effectively modify that. The reason this is so important is if I've got a HIK-Central system that I've deployed, From HIK-Central, I can run an emergency program effectively. So at click of a button within HIK-Central, I can deploy this emergency mustering program, which will push to all of the interactive displays. So if you've got meeting rooms, training rooms, interactive, LCD, LED displays, etc., all added to HIK-Central, the total benefit of this is if a fire alarm was to go off or a lockdown was to occur, through the action of a triggering of an alarm input, whether that's a third party into our alarm input into the system or a manual action via the software, even via the app itself. So through the HIK-Central app itself on the phone, I can actually trigger an emergency situation. However I've programmed this program, it will push it to the interactive display content. That will then be invaluable in helping your staff, your customers, visitors, etc. on site know what to do. If there's a fire, they may need to vacate the building, and where's that mustering point? It may need to go into a certain area and lock the door. Whatever that looks like, it may just be a test, it may be something unrelated to an emergency, but it does give you that real interactability and message and communication function, which unlike any other platform, because HIK-Central has CCTV, access intruder, all of these elements that can be brought into it. It's like a unified platform. Adding digital signage into really elevates and unifies what you can deliver to your customer base. So it's absolutely fantastic. So it's a really good, strong point. And if I wanted to create a program, I can click create and I can fill and adapt this as I need to do. I can put music or audio on there, etc. I can completely adapt this how we need that to work. And again, if I wanted to, I could create a program. Apologies. So yeah, and that's what it would look like. So you just adapt it. So under content creation, you've got quick release, template library, which is all of the templates that you can adapt and release. So what depending on what sort of vertical you're in. And my program is the one I added this 2 minutes ago, and I can start, stop, copy, release it, etc. Schedule management, you've got schedules, you've got ordinary schedules, but you can put loads of different schedules in there and apply them. You've got cut-in schedules, you can add in, say, at certain times of the day, I can click add, and then information release, or so I could at 12 o'clock every day put a cut in, so it says, the food truck is now outside, please go and get your food if you've ordered it or you want to order it. So a cut-in schedule could be used for that kind of thing, or it could be every Friday at 10 o'clock you want to advertise the fact that you're going to do a fire alarm test in 5 minutes and no further action is required. So a really helpful sort of add-on to this program is that cut-in schedule, which allows you to cut into existing content. Again, you can see the screen behind me. So if I want to change that, I'd fed up with looking at my own self. Under click release here, I can choose digital signage, portrait mode, click on OK, or I can go, instead of local upload, select from material library, and I can choose one of the other ones I've had in there previously. And you can see these are all of the previous content that we've had in there. I can select DVS, click OK, select DVS to deploy it, and then click release. And that will push it to the screen, and it's back to the DVS. So it is as quick and as easy as that. Centralized control at the touch of a button, super intuitive, super interactive, but extremely powerful. And again, under review management, you can actually put review management stages in there. So you can put content on and it has to be reviewed and passed, and so you've got denied or passed in there. There's none in there, but you can set up that functionality if you want. So the marketing could build content and it goes to a manager for authorization to then pass or deny it. And it'll tell you if that's the case there. Again, really cool. Material library, that's all of the material I've added. With all of the different things, you can add network cameras, you can create material, third-party data source, streaming media through apps, through web pages, through documents. So there's a lot of ways that you can bring material in, okay? And then statistics report has got all of the flat panel content and material playing statistics. So I could go on there, select the device. Let's go from there to now. Search. I have selected a device. We've got to select all of them, look. Oh, for some reason that's not working. Okay. Oh, content. I was on the wrong one, look. Content. Sorry. Go from there. Nope. For some reason I'll have to look at that, guys. That did work before. I'm not quite sure why it's not working, but I will have a look at that. Okay, leave that with me. I'll have a look at that. Apologies, that did work last week for the statistics, but I will investigate. And then basic settings, always on a thing. Web page manufacturer, you can add in that service there. It is a paid service. I tried to do it for DVS. You have to pay a small subscription charge, but you can overlay like whatever for your area into there. Material, the local storage or P-store server, tells you the status, and then video wall configuration. We don't have that, so I'm not going to go into that. We don't have an LCD video wall or LED video wall, but you can manage it through there. And then again, if you go to the combined command control, you can use create combined, and you can start doing all of these combined command control sort of events or tasks. So you just build it all up here. So DES, digital signage, you can put open screen, play content, so you just basically save it and then execute each one. So you can have custom commands that do like sort of batch stuff if that's what you want to do. And that really is as simple as this gets. Super powerful, super intuitive, really cost effective. Not cloud-based currently. You do need a HIK-Central server either on-premise or on the estate somewhere that they're added to, but it is something that is being looked at for a complete cloud solution. More details on that to follow. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to know more information, you know the score. Get in contact with your DVS sales rep. Drop me a line and I'm happy to help where I can. And again, drop your HIK BDM and tell them you want to buy from DVS. Thank you all for watching. See you next week for another how-to video.